not as delinquent as children who have never had interaction. So in fact, if I look at the Kenyan example in the CBC, the new curriculum that they are looking at, part of the curriculum is talking about managing. The child has to manage a pet so that they understand that pets are critical and important, and how they manage the pet and their understanding then helps them to be better citizens. In fact, research shows that children who know how to have handled pets and have managed pets very well tend to be more upright than children who have not had experience in managing animals. Dr. Victor YAMO, World Animal Protection Farming Campaigns Manager.
Talk about the moratorium you're asking government to put on, is it factory? Yeah, farmers.
Well, the moratorium is a straightforward thing because of the impact, and as I said, there is a lot of data that you can look at, and that's why people like UNEP are now talking about ensuring that production, looking at the connectivity between production systems, animal welfare, and environmental sustainability. So what we are saying as an organization is there is a problem with factory farms globally. Factory farms have not yet come to Africa. What we are looking at in Africa are still intensive farming that has not reached that level where they can be classified as factory farms. So we are asking African governments to put a stop to factory farms because they are beginning to get into Africa. We are seeing it in Uganda, we are seeing it in Kenya, we've seen a bit of it in some places like Zambia. So we are asking that because of its connection to climate change. Because you remember COP27 in November in Cairo is about climate change. But climate change has been shown to be a factor of production. Yeah? Animals that are in factory farms contribute to 26% of global gas greenhouse emissions. Yeah? And out of that 26% that food or agriculture contributes to greenhouse gases, 30% of it is actually coming from livestock production systems, especially around methane gas and nitrous oxide. That's why we are now saying, can we put a moratorium on factory farms? And I want us to be very clear, we're not saying we cannot do intensive farming systems. We're just saying we should not get to factory farming level, because that is where Europe is coming away from. The developed world is coming away from. And I gave you an example. Currently, in Europe, the stocking density for chickens is about 42 kilos per meter square. Africa is at about 30 kilos per meter square. Europe has just legislated and saying going forward, production systems should not keep chickens more than 30 kilograms per meter square. We should ask ourselves as Africans, why are they coming back to 30 kilograms? And why is Africa trying to get to 40 kilograms? Because there are certain things they are seeing that is detrimental to system. Part of it is the climate change we are talking about.
Finally, the issue of mindset change, like talked of farmers focusing on international standards in their production.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty obvious that the reality is that we are no longer producing for Ugandans. We are producing for a global food system. The global food system has rules and regulations. Yeah? When I talk about the African Animal Welfare Strategy, it's a policy that covers the whole Africa. When I talk about the Africa Free Trade Area, free trade does not mean there's no policies in that free trade. Yeah? And that's why we are saying we need to change our mindset and start saying, what are the international standards that are driving the industry that I'm in? If I'm a chicken farmer in Uganda, what are the standards around chicken farming that I need to be looking at? And those standards are relatively standard. If you look across, regulations are relatively the same. That's what we are saying we need to start addressing as farmers. We need to sensitize farmers to realize I am not growing food for Ugandan market only, but in Uganda there is a supermarket and a restaurant that are running international. Are we interested in supplying them with the proper product? If so, then they have animal welfare standards that they work around. They have food safety standards. They have prudent use of antibiotic standards. Are we as farmers ready to meet that market? Because if we don't, that product will come from somewhere. Yeah. Thank you.